Hello, this is Creatrix and Annika, and we are here today with BJD Addicts Prompt number 9, which is how did you get into the hobby? So I'm just going to hop right to it as usual. My adventures with the hobby actually begins in the winter of 2011. I was in 11th grade and I was going to this party for this monthly event called NaNoWriMo, or National Novel Writing Month. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically this month where people all over the world get together and encourage each other to write a novel in 1 month. And each city has their own liaison, and they throw a kickoff party, and that's where I was going. And at this kickoff party was this woman, and she had really severe social anxiety, so to help keep herself calm, she had this really, really beautiful, elf-like doll with her. And at the time, I didn't know what it was, and I didn't find out what kind of doll it was. All I know is that it was a beautiful doll. And in, looking back, I think it was, I don't know what brand it was or what sculpt it was, but I know it was an MSD, and she was just gorgeous. And the only thing I knew was from hearing other people talk to this woman was that this doll was very expensive. But I do know that she was beautiful, and I thought to myself, I wouldn't mind owning a doll like that. But I kind of didn't really chase after the idea because I was like, I'm in 11th grade, I'm 17 years old, I shouldn't be collecting dolls. But I find that the universe has a way of guiding you towards certain choices, because after that encounter with that beautiful doll, like I said, I didn't know it was called a BJD. I was never told what it was. I just knew it was a pretty lifelike doll that was expensive. And sure enough, on Facebook, I suddenly started getting you know how they have ads over to the side? Well, I started getting ads for this place called Mint on Card, and it said Mint on Card, and then it had a picture of a BJD. Once again, all I saw was a really pretty, realistic doll, and I kind of made the connection in my head that it was like that doll I had seen in that party. And I also thought the name Mint on Card was really interesting, and I still think it's interesting. I want to know where that came from. So if you know where the name Mint on Card came from, please post it in the comment section, because I still think it's kind of like a weird, fascinating name. But anyway, so I clicked on the link because of for all those reasons, and I saw these beautiful dolls. I'm like, oh, they're so pretty. I wonder how much they cost, because I knew she said she was expensive, so I was thinking like $80. That's what I thought would be really expensive for a doll. And so I went to their clearance sale that they were having, and I was quite shocked to see the $500 sticker price for a clearance doll, and I was like, oh my goodness gracious. Oh wow, who spends that kind of money on dolls? And I just kind of laughed. I was like, no thank you. That is not the doll for me, because I don't spend that much money on dolls. But that, because once you click on it, when you click on an ad once, it shows up 50 million times. So periodically, through the years, I would click on it to see if maybe the prices went down, which they didn't. And I was like, okay, I just gotta kind of stop clicking on that link, because things aren't gonna change. And it wasn't until the winter, actually around the same time, around November, the winter of 2013, when I was in college, did I actually find out what BJDs were, and they actually really came back into my life, because I started collecting Monster High dolls a little bit earlier, and I decided that I wanted to customize them. So I was on YouTube trying to find videos on how to customize them and stuff, and I came across Nicole's Dreams videos, because she has customized some Monster High dolls. And so I watched the videos, but I kind of noticed in the sidebar they have the recommended videos, and I saw the BJD heads, and I still didn't know what BJD meant, but I was kind of interested, and I watched them, and I thought they were really pretty, and I'm like, okay, I've got to see what a BJD is. And that's when I found out what a ball jointed doll was. And at first I was like, oh, yeah, these dolls are $1 million and I'm not interested in paying a lot of money for a doll. I was still trying to get used to doll collecting in general because I still kind of had that mindset that, oh, you're 19 years old, you shouldn't be collecting dolls, which I got that from my family. Because, I mean, like I said, they're getting better, but there are still times when they're like, really? Dolls? But as I kind of became more comfortable with doll collecting, I became more and more comfortable with the idea of BJDs. I also made the mistake, or maybe not the mistake, depending on how you view it, but I started watching a lot of box flipping videos, and then I discovered a Semva BJD, and it was all downhill from there. And so at first I was like, no, can't afford it, can't afford it. And then I was like, well, maybe no, can't. And then I was like, okay, I'll start saving, and then maybe after a year of saving, I'll decide whether or not I want to get one. And then I was on Mint on Card because I started finally looking for a sculpt, and I was going to settle for an MSD, even though I really wanted an SD. And then I noticed that like a bunch of companies were having events, and I had heard about events and that they were a good way to get dolls for, I actually didn't know. All I know is people talked about events, and that if you were going to buy a doll, it was recommended to buy one during an event. So I was like, okay, so I clicked on the Doll Family A event page, and I clicked on actually Annika's doll, Doll Family A Shauna. So I thought she was pretty. And I saw just how much you could save from an event. I actually think this particular event is actually was a really good event as far as events goes, because I haven't seen any events that gives you nearly as good as a deal as I got. But yeah, but this one was really incredible. You got 12% off everything, which when you're ordering like a $300 doll, that's like $30. So that was awesome. And then if you ordered a doll with makeup, you got the makeup free. So that saved you another $60. And then if you pay $260, you got a free either bunny or fox doll. So it was an incredible event. And that meant I could get an SD size doll for for less than it would cost for me to get the MSD doll. And she would come with makeup. And it was just kind of like, alright, let's do a layaway. And that's how I ended up with Annika, and that's how I ended up in the hobby. So, yeah, it definitely happened a lot faster than I expected. Like, I really was like, before I make a really expensive hundreds of dollars spent on doll kind of thing, I should probably, really, really think about it. Actually I remember, watching this one box opening video. I think it's the most popular box opening video on YouTube. I remember the girl saying she discovered, really got into the dolls at the beginning of summer, and then by, September she had bought one, and I was like, oh, I would never do that. I would wait at least a year. And then, 2 months later, I had ordered my own. So, but yeah, I think that's a good story, and I'm really glad I got into the hobby. I'm really enjoying it. I'm actually, already, having ideas for more dolls. I'm hoping to not buy too many dolls, but, I already know that there are 3 other dolls that I really want to get, but I think that's probably a story for another day. But yeah, so I will see you in the next video for whatever prompt I decide to do next. Also, I'm hoping very soon to have my first face up done. I'm making some pretty good progress, and I'm pretty proud of the work I'm doing, so I can't wait to share that with you guys. So, I will see you later. Bye!